Now, mechanical failure, as I told you, it can be in the pump side. So, what do we do? Suppose the pump stops, so and there is no electrical supply. The pump has to run. So, you can use a hand crank, which is part of every heart-lung machine. So, this is inserted inside the pump and manually we can run the pump. That is the first method. Secondly, if there is no battery backup, this can be done. Pumps which have battery backup will take over the situation for a few minutes. Another option is you can have additional pump head. Suppose there is some major mistake in the inside of the pump, maybe the motor or the belt that is inside the pump, where these two, where the hand crank does not work, you need to have an additional pump. So, you can have an additional pump, you can change the tubings from the non-working pump to the other pump and start running. So, you should have a way, whatever the way is, you should keep the flow going. And then of course, for all this you need manpower. A single person cannot do all this. Always you should have people for help. And another important problem that can occur during the pump is the high line pressure, which is very dangerous in a way, because high line pressure can rupture the tubing, or the aortic cannula which is inserted into the aorta can just slip out and come out of the aorta. So, care should be taken always. The perfusionist is always monitoring the high line pressure. Of course, we have safety alarms. So, in case there is the safety alarm is not working, or some centers where it is not connected, in that case the perfusionist's eyes should always be on the pressure monitoring line. Now, here you can see the pump is running. So, just to show how the flow is being, see now this is the hand crank which I told you. So, you manually you can insert the hand crank and start rotating and give at least minimum flow, so that there is perfusion at least to the brain. As we know, the brain is the most vulnerable organ. It can tolerate a ischemic period only for 2 to 3 minutes. So, at least some flow you can keep giving to the brain. So, this is how we keep rotating the hand crank. So, once the current comes, we start the pump on again. So, this is how we manage it. So, this is the battery backup which I told you. So, some centers where they do not have a proper UPS system, or a this is a additional UPS battery which we can have. We can connect the pump to this battery and run safely. So, this is the additional pump. So, this is the heart-lung machine. This is the 5-module heart-lung machine. So, you have an additional pump by the side, so that in case actually this pump had a problem. So, one of the pump was not working, so we have an additional pump. But always you can have an additional pump. In case the main pump does not work, you can take the tubes and put it inside this pump and keep running. Here we need help to lift the pump and replace the pump. So, you need to have a good strong person to lift the pump and replace the pump. So, here what happens is, the pump is running. So, I want to show that this pump has stopped now. So, what I am doing is, I am taking out the whatever tubing is there. This is the arterial pump. This is how it should be quickly done. The pump head, this is the arterial pump head. This is been taken out and it is been put into the other pump, the next pump. And then you start running. So, these are the quick methods. By the time you get the person brings the other pump, this can be done immediately and you can go on bypass. So, this is the next complication. This is the hemolysis in the urine bag, because it can be due to high occlusion. That is the pressure, the pressure on the tubing inside the pump head. Sometimes there can be other excessive suction, cardiotomy suction from the field, and there are other various reasons also which I will be discussing later. Now this is a video where there is the high line pressure. As I told you, this is a picture of a high. Look at the monitor. Usually line pressure would be acceptable between 80 to 120 or 140 or at least 200, but here it is going almost 300. So the line, this pressure line is just going up. So you should have, the perfusionist immediately should notice this and inform the surgeon. There can be in this, like this is the normal line pressure. It will be oscillating from 80 to